So we're going to look at how you can extract tables from a geodatabase in ArcGIS out to Excel. And if you're viewing this on the burdGIS website, then this video is slightly different to the text that's below, the step-by-step, as I've embellished it a little bit. If you're watching it on YouTube, then you can head over to the site if you want to have a look at the textual version as well. So first things first, I've got an empty MXD open here. I've already saved it as best practice. I'm just going to change some map document properties. Here we've got my file name, yes, that's fine. I'm going to change my default geodatabase, which is good practice, and we're going to be in my documents, and it's called AAA demo, this folder. So I'm going to set my default geodatabase as AAA demo.gdb, which I made earlier, and we'll OK that. So if we open up Arc Catalog, we can see here that I have AAA demo set. I've got an MXD called the same, and then a AAA demo.gdb. Now in this GDB I've got a raster, a demo polygon, and 3 tables. Obviously this is a bit of overkill for 3 tables, you could just export them normally, but if you've got hundreds of tables this could be really useful. So that's our MXD all set up and we're ready to roll. If you want to see what these guys look like, I'll just add them to our table of contents. And as an example table, you can see here that I do not have a lot in here. It's literally just one line with some sample data in it, that's all. So the demo poly is also nothing specifically useful, it's just a polygon in there. So now we're all set in terms of our MXD and our GDB. We can get started with some Modelbuilder work. And one thing I like to do if I'm working with Modelbuilder is certainly to use a toolbox. So I'll make my own custom toolbox and then I can store my model in there. So again, this is slight overkill, but it's a useful tip as how to do this. So you can see if we right click on our Arc toolbox up here, we've got the add toolbox function. So we don't actually have a toolbox to create yet, but if I go back to my home folder and I right click on that, I can add a new toolbox, and I'm going to call this toolbox, you guessed it, AAA demo. Awesome. So once I've created that toolbox, I can then actually go to Arc Toolbox and add a toolbox, and I'll be adding the AAA demo toolbox. I call it AAA because it means that it comes up nicely at the top here, and there you can see my AAA demo toolbox. So I don't actually have anything in it yet, but that's about to change. And one thing we're going to need in order to complete this is an Excel and CSV conversion tool. So this is a whole toolbox that enables a conversion between ArcGIS tables and Microsoft Office Excel or CSV files. So I'm going to download this. We've got 4 tools in here: table to CSV, table to Excel, CSV to table, Excel to table, etc. So a pretty useful thing. The link for this is going to be below the video. If you're watching again on the burdGIS website, it's in the text below, so just follow that link. So I'll download this and demo, and I'm just going to save the zip file right here. So now I've got the zip file saved, I'll just right click and extract all. It's going to extract it to Excel and CSV conversion tools. That works for me. So we'll extract that, and here we've got a new folder. Just click through this and you should see that we have another toolbox that we can add. We've also got some scripts in here as well, so various different things. You might be able to use more of these as well for other things. It's a pretty useful toolbox to have in your kit. So we're going to go back to ArcGIS and we're going to add that toolbox as well. So I'll add that in. Now we have our Excel and CSV conversion tools that has just popped up. And let's have a look at that. You can see this scrolly thing here means that these are scripts. So these are Python scripts that are working to alter our data to do some geoprocessing. And I'll just show you one cool thing that you can do once you've got your own toolbox. My AAA demo toolbox up here at the moment is empty. I'm going to right click on Table to Excel and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to dump it in my AAA demo. So if I paste that in there, you should see in a little while, once it's refreshed, we get this plus sign, and now I've got my Table to Excel in there. So if you are working on a project and you've got lots of different tools that you are using frequently, you can just make your own toolbox and copy and paste the tools that you need in there. Alright, let's get started with Modelbuilder. So you should be able to open up the Modelbuilder window. It should be up here. Mine is a little bit cramped because of georeferencing being open, but there you can see the Modelbuilder window. So I'm going to make a new model, and the Modelbuilder window will open. Excellent. Then I am going to open up ArcCatalog, and I'm going to grab my demo database and plonk it in here. So you can just pull a whole geodatabase across into Modelbuilder. And one thing I would like to say about Modelbuilder is that you have to be extremely careful when you're using it, because it will alter your data. So if you are just testing this out, if it's your first time using Modelbuilder, make sure that you are pretty careful. Use a demo GDB like I've done here, or a copy of your actual data, so that you're not going to break anything. So our demo GDB is in here. It's got all our data in here, the raster, the polygon, and our 3 tables. Next thing that we want to do is we want to iterate over what is inside our GDB. So you can see here we've got at the insert menu an option to use iterators, and I'm going to iterate tables. And this comes with its own set of outputs, things that are going to happen. And what we're going to do here is connect our GDB to our iterate tables function. So we just click on this little magic connect thing and we get a little wand. I'll click on my demo GDB and connect that up to my iterate tables. Set that as the workspace, and you can see it changes color to say that everything is looking good. So now we've got this set up, we've got our GDB here, we are going to iterate all the tables in our GDB. This will be the output of each table that the iterator comes across, and then what we'd like to do is convert those tables to Excel. So I'm going to drag across the table to Excel function here, and again we're going to use the connector tool to connect our demo poly up to the table to Excel, and we're going to put that as the input table. There we are. I'm just going to rearrange my elements so that I can see what's happening. There we go, and fit them to the screen. Lovely. Now you might be wondering where our output is going to be saved to. It's always a very good question with ArcGIS, and if we hang over this, we can see that currently the output Excel file is going to be demopoly.xls, but where will it be? So if we right click on Table to Excel and open this particular tool up, we can see the input table is demopoly, that's fine. The output Excel file is going to go to ArcGIS in our documents, which I never use that folder personally. I'd prefer to make a new one. So if I go to the browse and I go to my home folder, which is wherever my MXD is saved, I'll make a new folder and I'm going to call this outputs, and double click on that, and for the file name I'm going to use variable. So to signify that we're using a variable, you use a percentage sign, I'm going to use a variable name, close the percentage sign off, give it an underscore with a T, and I'll save it as that. So up here you can see we've now got AAA demo, that's my home folder, outputs, and then percentage sign name, percentage sign underscore T dot XLS. And what that will do, this signifies, the percentage signs signify that we're using a variable. The variable that we're going to use is the name, and if we hang over the name, you can see that the name is currently demo poly. That's the first thing that's been found in our geodatabase. So that means for each table, this name will be replaced by the actual name of the table, followed by an underscore of T, and then .xls. So let's validate our model and make sure that everything's reset, and then I'm going to hit run. So again, we're going to take our GDB, iterate over all the tables that are in there, we're going to feed those into the table to Excel tool, and that's going to output XLS files that we can then use. Let's run it. And off it goes. Done. Looks like everything has gone smoothly. If you do get any errors, they will come up in red, so be sure to have a good read of what the error message is. It's there for a reason, it'll tell you what's gone wrong. And if you do have any problems, please get in touch via the comments and I'll be able to help you out. So if we close that off, if we then go back to our, I'll just move this out of the way, back to catalog. If we look in our outputs folder, you can see that we've now got table 1 underscore T XLS, table 2, table 3. And that's because the names of our tables were table 1, table 2, table 3. So that's how that variable of name actually works in practice. So that's pretty cool. If you've got a GDB with hundreds of tables, you can quickly export them to XLS format. Final thing to say is that with our model, we can save this to use it again, obviously. So we will go to model, we'll save it as, and if we go to our home folder, we can actually save it in our AAA demo toolbox. And I'm going to call this batch table to Excel. And there it appears in our AAA demo toolbox. So I'll just close that down. Now you will notice one thing, which is if I double click on this to open it up, it comes up with this message: tool has no parameters. And that is very true. Our tool does not have any parameters, but what we can do is right click, and if we go to edit, we could then run it again from here, like so, and our model runs again. So you can see this is just one application of Modelbuilder, and it's one of my favorite parts about ArcGIS, the ability to build little models like this. I'm just going to validate it now, reset everything. So it enables you to record your workflows, and you can use these models again and again with little tweaks for depending on which project you're working on. Now, to set the model parameters so that we don't get this popping up is probably a topic for another tutorial. But if you're interested to know, please let me know, and I'll make a video about model parameters and making your own kind of tools within toolboxes. So thanks very much for watching. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the latest videos direct to you as and when they come out. So thanks a lot for watching, and happy mapping. Goodbye.